All right, it's the 5th of January, and I guess I'll get down. Real quick walk around before I take it. I didn't say anything about you getting down. You were down. Anyway, Johnny here with Hoist, way deep in the desert. Apparently, individual thought it'd be good to try and come to the Sheep's Crossing with their Lexus. Apparently, somebody else decided that people in Lexuses shouldn't be in the woods and this would be good target practice. One through the back window, one through the trunk. At least, probably somebody shooting a revolver, emptied it out. Anyway, dick move on whoever shot it up. Dick move on whoever brought it out here. If my understanding is right, I think it was possibly an elderly issue. Maybe not really realizing which way they were going. Who knows? Probably could have been down at Seven Springs. Load. And turned around to come out of there thinking they were going towards Phoenix and came by way of this way. So, if this gets too hairy, I'm going to put y'all down. But for right now, if for no other reason than insurance companies that want to debate where it was at and what had happened and rah-da-da-da-da-da-da, I am going to try and carefully drive for the next 4 miles or so in video. So our exact location is just a touch over 4 miles west of the intersection of Forestry 24 and 269, also known as the Bloody Basin Road, and 24 is Cave Creek. Now, it's from the corner up at 24, it's still roughly 20 miles out if you're going to go out Bloody Basin, but the catch is, while it's shorter, there's 5 miles on top of the mesa that tends to be a bowl and hold water, and it's most likely a gooey, slimy, slippery mess. Aside from the fact that I'm back in here in the Jesus, Johnny, speak right, F-250 Ford rollback. Really, I should have stopped 4 or 5 miles ago. Basically at the corner of 24 and 269. But I was fairly confident I could get to it without having to beat up the truck. It was just going to be a slow ride. And I was right. And it's going to be a slow ride back out. But I want y'all to see where these folks have came through with this car so far. And actually, this is pretty mild. I have seen way worse. Both in person and on video from other folks. I think Matt and company's got the best one with one of these. Matter of fact, I think it was a Lexus or something like that. Way back up in Hog Canyon, I think it was, or something like that. It was brutal, but I mean, this shit ain't no too nice. Couple different spots I was rubbing my toolboxes coming in, slashing a lot of my fuel tanks. And I think it's almost worse being loaded because walking through these little rock gardens, as you might be able to tell, is kind of no fun. But we're gonna get it. We got the car loaded up. I wish I had more daylight left, but this little stretch of trail I'm not super familiar with. I've been on it, I don't know, 5-6 times since I've been out here. It's cool because it goes out to a place called Sheep's Crossing. The road basically dead ends about 11 miles from where you come out on 24. Anyway, it was where the I don't know, maybe they still do. I don't think there's anybody herding sheep anymore in the area. But back in the day, when they were migrating their sheep from pasture to pasture, they had the Sheep's Bridge there at river, which bless my heart, I'm drawing a blank on the river, probably Middle Verde. Verde River, Middle Verde, one of them. But, yeah, this stuff is just ridiculous. And I've pulled, shoot, I think this is the third one since I started working with these guys. Basically in a year, I had a guy with like a Prius out here, flat tires. Usually that's the issue. They get back here and they end up cutting a tire, and like these folks, they probably had a spare, but I think once again, I think there was an age issue maybe jumping off. I don't know. I've had some very interesting age issue problems out here. So folks, if you think you might have a problem, make sure you let somebody know where you're going. And if you don't think you're going to have a problem, make sure you let somebody know where you're going. The best of us end up in the bind. I was doing a rescue and about put my truck in the bottom one day. Not a big deal. We took care of it, but, you know, it just goes to show that no matter how good you think you are, it's your job or your hobby or your passion, there might still be room for improvement. And it always pays, especially if you're coming out here. You know, if I was to have a problem, I'm 30 miles from anywhere really that would be easily to get to, you know, good road. And yeah, it'd be rough. Yeah, we got to go back out through that pass out that way and back into Cave Creek. So, and that's 30 miles back to pavement once I turn up here on 24, which is, I'm guessing I'm a couple miles away now. Seems like I still got one or two more good rock crawls, uphill, downhill. Matter of fact, yeah, because we got at least one more creek bottom we got to cross on this road. It's kind of neat because Seven Springs Road, or Cave Creek Road, it kind of runs along another wash/watershed. It's pretty neat down in there. Not real horrible road. Most of this is stuff you could drive in your average vehicle with a decent little bit of ground clearance. I mean, the Gambler folks run all over the place in front-wheel drive shit boxes. They just make sure they carry a bunch of spare tires and drive strategically. And it's actually really impressive sometimes the places them old boys take their vehicles. When I first moved out here, I was running around Senator Highway and some of that and a little beater Civic, and actually took my street bike all the way to Crown King, which is a little bit better road than this for the most part. Last 3 or 4 miles kind of gets a little narrow, but it's not. None of it's bad road unless it's been bad weather and it's all chomped up. Most of the time it's pretty good. Better grade than this. This here is rough. This here is definitely rough. How much time we run so far? Only 8 minutes. Curious to see how long it takes me to get back to 24. We're riding a little bit better because of the load, actually. It always is a bummer when you're coming in some of these spots and you're unloaded, because with no weight, everything wants to bounce and jangle. And some neat country. For sure, like I said, we're going to be going back out through that pass once we get up over. Actually, if you look way the hell out there, you can be able to see it as I zoom in. There's power lines up on that hill. The way out kind of follows them power lines. Always blows me away. Because sometimes, now this ain't real bad, but some of the places I go, I'm in a good four-wheel drive and they make me nervous, and yet I get people going back in. We had to recover a gentleman the other day over a flat tire. Now, I will say he did some pretty good driving because he came up the back way from Lake Pleasant up to Crown King, and if it wasn't for not having a spare, he would have probably made his ride without an issue all the way, because once I put a spare tire on it, I managed to drive it on up to the top of the mountain and out to back out to good road for him. It was a little challenging because it was slippery and it started snowing when we were on the back side, but we got her out. It wasn't a big deal. A little nerve-wracking when you start getting snow on the side of a mountain. Right. Okay, to try and give you a perspective, I don't know if the trees will help, but yeah. Like I said, if these folks drove out here with this Lexus and still have an oil pan, a transmission pan, and 3 tires, I'm fairly impressed. And it's messed up because I don't know who I was talking to, but it's good to believe in yourself and good to know what you can do and what you can't do. But sometimes people just, I don't know if it's they watch different videos and think, oh heck, we can go there, we can do this in our Prius or whatever, you know. And it's not good sometimes, because you know, I don't know when them folks broke that car, but if they did it late in the day, they might have spent the evening out here, because there ain't a whole lot of signal. I haven't had good signal in 2-3 hours north into Cave Creek, I would guess. Probably was the last place I had good signal. And so, you know, you kind of got to hope that you can either get a message out to 911, YCSO will come back in and get you, or they'll send search and rescue. But got a funny feeling that was for me coming in dragging the bottom of my toolbox. Actually, excuse me, my gas tank. Grading the road a little for them. Yeah, we're gonna about have enough light to video until we get back to 24, which we're just about out of the worst of this. Now, the rest of the road out still ain't none too nice, no matter whether you go up over Bloody Basin, like I said, which on one hand I wish I'd have come in that way to see what it's like, but we've gotten enough moisture where I got a feeling it's still probably soupy up there, and it's got to go into Phoenix anyway, so might as well head right back out through to Cave Creek and down to wherever it is I'm taking it. Don't even remember. I looked at it, I seen it, I know I gotta take it someplace in Phoenix. Yeah, this is the bottom of that part of that water crossing that follows all the way down the mountain. And that could be a little slippery, but we got enough weight. I don't think it's gonna be an issue. No. Plus, that's such a short spot, I could have pushed myself across it if I needed to. You trying to catch stuff back there, Booty Bird? I bet you. Oh, son of a bitch. That wasn't good. Looks like we're literally scooting the car sideways. We'll have to reset that, which don't surprise me. Just enough crown in the road where the gas tanks straps will try to rub if you don't keep it perfectly in the middle on the high spots. Where are we at? 15. About 5 miles, or about a mile every 5 minutes, something like that. Nah. Really, dude? I didn't ask you to get out. Same color? Yeah, we bounced it sideways. We'll adjust it here in a little bit. Come on, boot. Load. Okay, let's see if we can get on down to 24. Then we will reset. No, stay back there, dude. You know, at what point do you quit believing your GPS and say, maybe I should turn around and go back the way I came? Makes me wonder sometimes, because I get a lot of, we were following our GPS. Really?